Professor Fernandez here. Um, it's Sunday morning, and I finally finished looking at all the video discussion posts for Module 2. And I wanted to go over a couple of notes here for everyone. Uh, I created video responses for every video post that was turned in. So I won't do that in the future, but I wanted to personally address every post. So it took me a little bit longer than usual, uh, but I wanted to address this to the entire class um, just so we're all on the same page. Some of this may not apply to every student, but I do want you to pay attention here. Regarding this video post, many students gave me a recap of the entire module, and that's not really what I was looking for, right? And I have up on the not this way, but that way. Uh, um, I have the Canvas prompt. Prompt means directions. I did not want you to just try to recap the entire module from your notes. You can't do it in 5 minutes. I saw people reading so fast. Um, what I was looking for, and I'll have my cursor right here, is here's kind of an overview of the module, right? But in the bold, it asks, for this discussion, you will discuss on video the evolution, which means change, right, of early American colonial, and here's the key, thinking and beliefs to American colonial thinking and feelings at the end of the module. So a lot of you made this harder than what it was. I was looking for thinkings and beliefs. What are these people about? What are they thinking? What do they believe throughout the module? Throughout the module. Uh, so if you kind of were just reading me your notes, early colonists came back to for gold, but when they found no gold, they planted tobacco, and they needed people to plant. And then they got indentured servants, who would, it was horrible for them. And then we had the Great Enlightenment, or the Age of Enlightenment. The Great that's now because it's you're not going to be able to do it. Uh, I know it, and I know you guys know it. So you gave me some great history reports on the module, but not what I wanted, right? And I tell everyone in their individual responses of what I liked and what needed work. So I wanted your beliefs, their beliefs, their thinking, what they're about, right? So I had a couple of hundreds in every one of my sections here, and they pretty much hit on early colonists came over for opportunity, for hope, believing it would be better in the New World. The Pilgrims, Puritans for religious freedom, the others in Virginia, Chesapeake, opportunity, right? So much so that they'll sell their bodies, those contracts, indentured servants, because at the end, they're promised a certain amount of money, and then they can go buy their own land. So hope, opportunity, early colonists, right? Not, and they're all different, coming over for different reasons, different colonies. That's all I needed, really. Then you would go into Age of Enlightenment, right? Age of Enlightenment. The thinking in Europe is, hey, science is above spirituality, and that thinking comes over into the New World, and it's embraced by many. Benjamin Franklin, Enlightenment thinkers, Thomas Jefferson, and others. And what are they thinking? They're starting to question God, right? To an extent, scientific law, natural law. And you could mention John Locke or Sir Isaac Newton or some other primary source, or maybe something from the lecture to back that up, right? We have a portion of the colonial population starting to think differently. They're starting to believe and question, did God really pick the king? That's all I was looking for. How do we see the colonials, the colonists start to change? Then you'd mention the Great Awakening, a renewed spirituality, right? A pushback against those pure scientific that are questioning God. Oh my God, God forbid. Now, not everyone buys into this spirituality, but they still are affected by it, right? Benjamin Franklin goes and sees that sermon, and he may not buy into the whole spirituality, but he actually gives money at the end, right? He's moved by it more as maybe entertainment value, and that's a great document that a lot of people brought up. But it changes the way colonists see each other, right? They're not totally different from each colony, right? But they have a shared occurrence. And that's important because this thinking, this belief that, okay, everyone's not necessarily buying into it, but we're all experiencing the same things. Uh, And then the biggie, which a lot of you didn't mention, was the French Indian War, also known as the 7 Years' War. How do colonists feel fighting in this French Indian War, especially being led by regular army British generals from Europe, right? Benjamin Franklin and Braddock, right? He mentions how this guy's an idiot. He doesn't know what he's doing. And then they look down on our people. So what's the feeling? Starting to feel a little different than our British brothers across the ocean. And then after the war, what's the feeling? How do they feel? Especially after the war, after the Treaty of Paris, but most importantly, after that proclamation of 1763, how do the colonists feel? They feel betrayed. They feel that once again they're gypped out of land west of the Appalachians because of the Native Americans. A little bit like Nathaniel Bacon, right? And Governor Berkeley. So that's what I was looking for. You want to pay attention to the post, to the prompt in the post. If you have any issues, or maybe you're a little confused, hit me up with an email, come see me, schedule an appointment. I will try to reword it. I'll try to make it for you. But I think this one, if you had, from this point forward, you'll look at the post and maybe you'll delve in a little bit deeper. So the key was colonial thinking and beliefs. Uh, a lot of you just gave me trying to redo your notes in front of the camera, which I can understand the stress in 5 minutes. You can't do it. I know you can't. I wasn't asking you to do that. I was asking you to kind of, well, not kind of, tell me the evolution or the changing of the feelings and beliefs in the module. Okay, replies. You had to reply to a fellow student. Remember, the reply to a fellow student is 30 points out of 100. It's 70 points for your post, 30 points for the reply to a fellow student. I was very lenient as long as you replied to a fellow student and you gave me something regarding what you liked and you were specific. You got 25 to 30. I'm going to be a little bit harder because some people said you were a lot like my post and I liked it because you said exactly what I said, and then they went, you said, like I did, that the indentured servants were treated horribly, blah, 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 blah. No. Uh, some of the best replies I had was, I saw your post. I kind of disagreed with, or I saw it a different way because, and then they went on. Those are the best ones where not necessarily that you're critiquing, but maybe even if you agree with them, you said, I agree with you when you stated this because I believe, or my interpretation is this. So, uh, timing, uh, I'm I'm a really I'm a hard ass about that. You got to have your initial post in by Thursday, 11:59. If that is not in, then it's a zero. I had a few that try to do it after because it's still open after. I'm sorry, it's still the initial post is still open after Wednesday at 11:59 uh, because that's people that may be replying to others. It'll show you as late on the reply, but I don't count that. It's just the way the system's set up. But if you did your initial post and your reply after Wednesday at 11:59, it's not counted. It's a zero. So deadlines are deadlines, especially in a flex course. A few, but not. But most people got their stuff in on time, um, or they got their initial post in on time and they didn't do a reply, which I mentioned. I do not have a problem with you reading from a paper. I understand some people just not good with bullet points or they just can't remember everything, especially if you thought you had to do a recap of the entire module. But if you need to read from note cards or paper, I would advise just bullet points because I'm not looking for a speech. I'm looking for your higher level thinking of your interpretation, your analysis on this one, on the beliefs and thinking and why. So no problem. If you need to read, I have my notes right here that I'm going off of. A couple of videos with jump cuts, no issues with that. I understand. If you're technical savvy, and I think you can pause and start and pause and start, I don't have an issue with that. And it's kind of cool in some of those videos. So as long as you got the analysis, the interpretation in, no problems. Uh, I can tell, and just a few of you, when you go and look at someone's post first and do a reply, and then you do your initial post. I can tell I don't take away points, not yet. But I just want to stress that you really should do, I want you to do your post first. I want your interpretation, your analysis from whatever it is, and then post it, and then you reply to someone else's. I had a few, and I can see exactly when you posted or when you replied, or you first looked at someone's and replied, and then you did yours, uh, and it's exactly the same. Uh, don't want that. I want you to have your own interpretation of it. So your post first, and then the reply to a fellow student. I can see the order that things are done in. All right. The last thing, just want to stress, I'm not going to do video replies or grades for every assignment. This module 2 was the first module, so I wanted to put a face and a voice to the grade, so you can, so you knew that I actually look at everything. I look at everything. I'm not one of those teachers or professors that kind of give the check mark, and maybe you know they graded or they didn't look at it or they did. So I look at everything. So this first module on your primary source analysis, I did video responses for all of them. For this Flipgrid, for your first discussion post, your real discussion post, I did video replies for all 95 of my students. So I'm not going to do that in the future modules. I will do video replies for grades that I have issues with, or maybe I had some questions on. So some of you, you'll just get a grade, and if you get a grade, odds are it was pretty good. Maybe I'll type good job, uh, but I'm not going to reply with a video for every assignment from this point forward. Just this module, I wanted to make sure that you understood what I was looking for. Okay, that's it. It's Sunday, Super Bowl time. I just want to make sure that you knew why and how the grading was done, what I was looking for in this initial academic discussion post. Be sure to keep on top of readings, your assignments, and these discussion posts. Better to do them early than to come in at 11:35 or no, but 11:50 Wednesday night with your initial post. So and then you're kind of scrambling. So better to do things early if you can. I know you have lives out there, but I just want to make sure that you get things in on time, especially when you did the work and you did the entire module.